Hi Mustangs, it's Mrs. Komiak here, and I am here to show you how we're going to use Oreos to model the phases of the moon. Okay, so to begin, you need some Oreos. You can have 4 Oreos, or you can have up to 7 Oreos. You can use regular Oreos, or you can use mini Oreos. And you also will need your workbook. You'll need your workbook, page 58, called Eat the Moon Phases. You will need something to write with. We'll need a knife or something to scrape off some of the frosting. And I would put that on the frosting either on a napkin or on a plate. If you don't happen to have your workbook, you'll need a piece of paper to draw out the phases. All right, let's get started. So we're on page 58. And we're on the Eat the Moon phases. And you can see that I have added some things here. Okay, so we said here we have the new moon. And the new moon, right? If there's a new moon here, that means what we see from Earth is black. So that means that on the side facing the sun, this is our top view. The side facing the sun is bright, which means the side away from the sun is dark. So let's go ahead and orient ourselves. Dark on the side away from the sun, turned away, not facing the sun. That same thing goes for Earth. The side away from Earth is in darkness. We know that the Earth rotates counterclockwise. And as it rotates here, right, we go from day into night and day into night. And that rotation takes about 24 hours. Okay. So we know that the sun is on the left. So I have the sun here. Okay. And so now what we're going to do is use the Oreos to represent the phases of what it looks like the view from Earth. The Oreos are going to represent what it looks like from Earth. So we have 2 different shapes, as you guys know. We have the shape of the gibbous shape, the kind of football. We have more than 2, but we have also the crescent shape. We have a quarter shape. We have a full moon shape. And we have kind of a new moon, we have a new moon shape, okay? And whether the light is on the right or on the left can tell us if we are waxing on the right or losing L on the left. Okay. So the first thing with a new moon, what you're going to do is you are going to take an Oreo and twist it off, right? And you're going to be left with 2 sides. Now what you're going to have to do is to scrape the frosting off using your knife or your scrape off the frosting. You want to save that frosting because we're going to use the frosting to if you're only using 4 Oreos, you're going to have to save the frosting to use again to sculpt your another phases. So we have our new moon phase. Our next phase, right? View from the Earth, the light is going to be on the right, is going to be the crescent, a waxing crescent. So there's going to be a crescent or croissant shape on the right. And what's cool about this is that the crescent, as I scrape it off, I can use that frosting to make the gibbous shape. I can use that frosting to make the gibbous shape. So if I have my moon, I can carve out a crescent, and I can carefully get the gibbous shape and hold on to the gibbous shape. So I can carve out my crescent, save that gibbous shape for later. Does that make sense? So you're going to do that. You have your crescent, and it's waxing, so it's getting, the light is growing, so it's going to be waxing, fluorescent. Now it's going to get even bigger, right? So the view from the Earth, it's growing, is going to be grow to our first quarter. Our first quarter. And again, you can use an Oreo you can use an Oreo, cut it in half, your knife, cut it in half, hold on to that quarter for our next one. It works when the Oreos are a little bit cooler. In the garage, it's quite cool, so it's coming off easily. So if yours are sticking, but when I did it in the house, it wasn't working as well. So make sure that they're cooler, and that will help it come off more easily. So waxing crescent, this is our first quarter. Again, just like the Earth is rotating, the moon is rotating. It's just rotating, right, slowly. So it only rotates one side, one spin by the time per revolution. So we start with the far side, which we can't see, and then it's rotating, right? We always see the same side. Here's a smiley face. So it does spin, it just spins, we only see the same side. Okay, so let's put this back. From Earth, we see a new moon. From Earth, we see the waxing crescent. Then we see the first quarter. Now we have that cookie. We can use that gibbous shape cookie. I'm gonna put that on the back half of an Oreo. Gibbous shape. And do a little scraping off of frosting. And now what comes next? View from the Earth, right? It's going to look full. So we have our full moon. Let's go back and label this. So we have our waxing gibbous. Waxing gibbous. Then we have our full moon. Okay, and now we're starting to lose light, at least from Earth. Obviously, we're not losing light. The same amount of light is still there. The same half of the, not the same half, but half of both the Earth and the moon are always lit. But now we're losing light, so you can think L losing, it's going to be on the left. So we're going to have a a waning gibbous. Waning means to lose. So we're losing light, so it's going to be on the left. Waning gibbous, football shape. Again, I have my other quarter from before, right? So I have that from before. And that's going to be my last quarter or my third quarter. Third quarter. Because even though we see half, a half of a half is a quarter, because we're only seeing this part right here. So that's why it looks like half. Third quarter, or the last quarter. And now we've lost so much light, right, that we are on our waning, as we're losing light crescent. Waning crescent. So this part we're losing light, it's going to be waning. This half when we're gaining light, it's waxing. This cycle takes about 29.5 days. Okay, so each quarter is a little over 7 days to go from new moon to first quarter to second quarter or full moon. Okay, and to our last quarter takes a little over 7 days. All right, once you have this, take a picture of it, snap a picture, upload and submit it, and then you're done. It was fun working with you, and now go ahead and eat your cookies.